From 21 Sports, this is Penguin Game Day, driven by Greenwood Chevrolet, Austintown.
Penguin Game Day starts now.
It is Wednesday. That means another edition of Penguin Game Day as we come to you from inside the Watts on the campus of Youngstown State. Happy to be joined by the coach of the Penguins, Doug Phillips, whose team knocked off Southern Illinois 31-3. And Coach, we were talking a little bit earlier, probably your best overall performance. Not a perfect game, but in that direction.
Yeah, not a perfect game, but just, the thing that you take away from it was how your kids are going to react coming off a tough loss. And I thought our kids came and had a great week of practice, and we started the game fast and were able to finish.
Did you sense that at all? Do coaches kind of sense the kids are focused, or were you I don't want to say surprised, but as pleased as all the fans were?
Well, coming off that loss, the things that we needed to get back to was the attention to detail and the ability to be focused for 60 minutes. Those were the takeaways from the previous week, and sometimes those losses sting a little more, so you learn a little bit more. So that week in practice, we saw our kids a little more focused in practice, a little more attention to that detail.
We'll take a look at some of the highlights, and coaches, we look at these, most of them are offensive highlights, but a couple of things that stand out is you were able to hold Southern Illinois to 100 total yards, and you had 7 sacks defensively.
Yeah, it started up front. We knew offensive line, we had to run the football. And that was a point of emphasis going in the game. They didn't give up a lot of rushing yards, but we knew we had to establish the run. And, we're able to create some explosives too downfield, especially early, to keep them honest. And then defensively, we had to stop their run, and then we had to find a way to affect their quarterback, number 8.
And I thought you did a good job of affecting Nick Hill, because he was pretty much running for his life and had one big run as we see here. But defensively played well. You kept them contained and you held them in check. I mean, they didn't find the end zone.
Part of it too is you want your players to play fast. So we really had to assess what we were doing in communication and the calls on the field to allow our players to play as fast as they possibly can.
A couple of turnovers as well. Troy came up with the big interception, and in all phases, special teams, we talk about them as well. I thought it was the most complete game this season.
It was, and we still got improvements. We didn't score every time we were down in the red zone. We had a penalty that took a score off the board. We had a turnover in the red zone. So again, going into this week, you got to put this to rest on Sunday night, get ready for the next challenge, the next opponent, and we got to clean up those things if we want to be a really, really good team.
Coach, you talk about being focused and putting it to bed. So you come off a disappointing loss at Northern Illinois, put on a dominating performance against Southern Illinois. So kind of in the same situation. Have the players kind of put this in the past?
Yeah, I've always said this. A tough loss and a big win are one and the same, meaning you can't linger on the big win and you can't linger on the loss. If you do, you're not getting yourself ready for the following Saturday.
You're at the halftime of your season, 5 games in the books, 3-2, 6 more to go. What do you like most about this team at this point?
Again, how do you handle adversity? How do you know how you handle adversity when things are always going well? Well, we found that out in our first league game going to Northern Iowa. And I really am proud of the way our kids reacted to that adversity, came back with a strong performance. Now we got to see, can we work on the consistency part and put days to weeks to games?
That leadership has a big part in that, right?
It does. And, we got a great leadership council. We got great captains. We got great seniors, the locker room, the brotherhood. And, we know it's a process. We know we're not there yet, that we got to continue to build it. And each week is that new challenge. As I said last week, I'm excited to see our kids play Saturday.
Well, we'll touch on the Coyotes of South Dakota a little bit later on. But when we come back, we'll visit with Warren Harding product Troy Jakubek when Penguin Game Day continues.